Okay, end of first half, end of second half. Other than that, Ohio State had a 7-point lead most of the game. So those were the crucial times. I know Henderson had a penalty earlier in the game, but boy, did he make up for it because Texas just scored. Ohio State was dragging a bit, and boom, right before the half, 25 seconds left, little screen pass goes for 75 yards and a touchdown. Now, here come the narratives. We already had the narrative going on of why aren't they getting the ball to JJ? What the heck's wrong with Chip Kelly and Ryan Day? Well, I even said at the time, it was on Juck on Bucks Live. There were about 700 people in there, and a lot of people were saying that. And I just said, hey, look, we have to see the film. My bets are Pete Kwiatkowsi, who is the defensive coordinator for Texas. I don't know how many know this. Likes to play a lot of deep zone, bend but don't break, sort of. And today no one plays deep zone. It's a zone match, but he likes to play his zones and do a bend don't break. But he do a lot of surprise stuff too nowadays, and he did that to us. He had a great game plan and did well. But there was one person in that live that said, "Hey, I'll use JJ as a decoy all day," and I was just like, "There you go," because that's what happened this play. And what really happened wasn't, and here's another really false narrative, it wasn't some big blitz. It was bad enough that Herbie said that on the telecast, but he didn't really say that. He was like, there was a blitz, but then he said, but then they were too far back. That was it. They were too far back in their zone, expecting a deep shot to JJ, who they were so scared of all game, or even Ibuka. And it was 25 seconds left. We just don't want to give up an explosive. They never thought we were going to throw a little dinky screen pass to the running back. Nothing really crazy about that scheme. It's a classic little running back screen, except we executed it great, and they just simply weren't expecting it. And supposedly Ryan Day is the one who called it from his press conference after, said that he just said, we've been practicing this all year. We never run it. Let's run it. Just a regular screen pass to the running back. Very pro style, too, by the way. Nothing real like bubble screen, air raid, just get it out to the receiver quick. It was a big setup. It was all about timing. Which is pro style. So they had to set it up. They set it up perfectly. Henderson waited on the block just enough time, then boom, popped out. Will Howard took his time, was really rushed hard, but got rid of it. Really great escapability by Will, and then he got a little pass off to it. And then the linemen were all set up, the two guards in the center, and the rest is history. And of course, Henderson's incredible speed, which on Texas's side, they backed off so far into Tampa 2, and not today's Tampa 2, which is more match coverage. But they really backed out like the old days, and they were so far back. I don't think Kwiatkowski called that. He called a zone blitz. It was a nickel blitz, and a guy's dropped out of it. The linebacker and DN dropped out, so it was only a 4-man rush. Zone blitzes are great, can be great against screen passes, but you can't have their safeties and another DB, 3 of the players so far back, like 20 yards back. That's old school, and I'm telling you, that was fear of JJ, fear of the deep shot. And I don't even know that it came from the coaches. It might have been the players who did it. And the safeties panicked and raced up immediately when they saw what was going on, knowing, oh, crap, they were veteran safeties. And they knew it, but they came up too late, and then they overran it because they kind of misjudged the speed of Henderson. So it was a lot of talent involved in that, too. So great talent, great execution by Ohio State, but just a throwaway play call. And then a touchdown. That's what really happened. I'm going to show it in the film. We've got to debunk these narratives, man. They happened during the game. They happened after the game. 50 million things went out this weekend. I'd say probably 70% was a load of crap. So we're going to debunk it.
Here we go. We got it. Menace to Sports. Zach Smith came through. Offensive film. So I have a real good. I've been doing this on the weekend, and I didn't really like what I'd done. I wanted to do it a little cleaner. So and glad I waited. And I also have to say, I saw some of the film reviews over the weekend. I would say almost every one was off, especially about this play. Everybody was moaning about saying the guy blitzed and how stupid that was. Zach didn't say any of that. So again, I'm not going to tell you what Zach all said. Go see his stuff if you want to see it, Menace to Sports. But he was on. Yeah, Zach knows his stuff. And it was almost, hey, just thanks, Zach, man, if you actually seeing this. Because sometimes I just have to hear some goddamn common sense. I mean, in some of this. So let's take a look here. This was not like some huge blitz. Okay. So look at this. This is Anthony Hill, the linebacker. Okay. He's up on there. And this is 2D tackles. And here's a defensive end and a defensive end. Okay. the linebacker and this defensive end are going to drop off, which is pretty cool because now they're coming from this other side. So that's kind of like messing around with spacing. And you're going to have a blitz from this the nickel Gilboo back here. This is a seat. They have 6 defensive backs in. I'll show you that in a second. There comes the blitz there. There's those guys sliding over there. There drops the DN. There drops the linebacker. There comes that DN. Now, even one of the guys that I saw the film on was saying Fryar wants to let this guy go upfield and push him out. That's true, but look at this. And Zach called it out. You don't want to get burned like that, okay? I mean, he really got burned. And a great slide step right there by Will Howard. That is fantastic. No one's talking about that. I have to say, even Zach didn't mention that. That is incredible that he slid away from this. Little tiny bit of escapability by Will. I'm telling you, the NFL sees this right there. Right there, that little tiny step. He could have got sacked there. He had the ball, got hit. He could have fumbled, for God's sake, and Gilboo picks it up and goes for a touchdown. This could have been disaster. He gets away from it and pops it over to this guy right here, Henderson, this guy. And look at that block by Henderson. Look at the patience by Henderson here, setting up the screen. Boom, right there. Beautiful move by Will. Beautiful setup by it. You got 2 guards in the center coming out for him. The ball's floating in the air. And now again, the issue is, like I said, way too deep on the zone. So let's take a look at that. I mean, we can also see how then Trey sets up his blocking. Starts out there, dips in, and here come the safeties. 16 and 4 are flying up, and then Trey dips back out. You can see the one safety takes out the other safety. 16 was in a panic, by the way, Taff, because he's a smart player, a walk-on, but a smart guy. Not a walk-on anymore, but anyway. And he knew right away, oh my God, we're way too deep. And he's racing like a maniac right here. And he kind of overran it. Didn't overrun it, but kind of didn't get a good angle because he was so panicked, and Trey is so quick. And then Mukuba, the safety, I always get his name right, Mukuba, whatever, really good guy from Clemson. He comes up, and he just sort of, again, just blown up. There was too much space. There was too much space. Okay, this is that simple. So let's take a look at that. Why is there too much space? Well, here it is. Here's the Tampa 2. Safety, that's Mukuba, who comes up number 4. That's Taft, 16. Taft came flying from here all the way to here in a panic, but he was out of control. Mukuba also, too much space. He got faked out by incredible Trey Henderson. And here's 7, Barron, who jumped back into the Tampa, like Downs does for Ohio State. And everybody, it was just too deep. Nothing was wrong with the play call. The zone blitz was okay. Now, did the coaches tell them to go real deep in their Tampa? Because that's the old school way. Nowadays, it's more match. So you don't go as deep because you've got to match up with receivers soon in your zone. So you can't leave that much space. That's way too much space. But I know it's like a prevent. There were 25 seconds left. I still don't think Kwiatkowsi said for them to do this. I don't know. I think the players were more panicked. There's JJ over here, and there's the decoy. JJ here. Not to say that it was set up as a decoy, but it was like a D. And there was Ibuka. Or is that Ibuka? I don't know. One of these. I think it's Ibuka. Okay? So, look at this. Look at this guy calling out. Go back in your Tampa. There goes to safety, racing back. Look at this. They're 20 yards from the ball. I mean, 20 yards back. 15, 20. That's not... That used to be happening a lot back about 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago in the NFL. But that's been a while now. So they're just protecting. This isn't bad right here by Barron. But then he grabs, of course, the patterns are all deep. So they're sticking back there. And look at these guys dropping in deep in their zone here. That was Hill, who was up on the line of scrimmage. See? So he goes racing back. There's the other, there's the defensive end racing back. And there you got your cornerbacks. By the way, this is Holmes. He's the dime back. And that was Gilboo on the blitz. He's the nickel. So anyway, so we have 6 DBs. So this is all big-time protection. A little zone blitz, there's nothing wrong with that. If they had zone blitzed and kept their standard, they would be more into here, and these guys would be more up closer to the 40. Everybody would be up a bit, and it would have made a huge difference. This was too much space. They never expected this. Now, I'll tell you this, Zach's calling it a great play call. I was too. I was like, what a play call, you know. But now I hear that Ryan Day kind of was like, we've been practicing all there, and he threw it out. Let's just do this. It sounds like a throwaway. So just something to do at the end of the half. Let's see what happens. So if that's true, then this is culture. This is just the right play at the right time by luck. basically. And these guys, because also talent, they're so scared of JJ. Also the momentum, what we've been doing, what Ohio State was doing coming into this game. They were just so fearful. And partly Kwiatkowski, he tends to back off like this. He'll tend to do this. He still mixed it up. He mixed it up the second half. He had a good game plan. They played well on defense, but he does do a bend don't break. That's his normal style, more or less. But he lets the technique take over in the execution. And you can say these guys didn't execute, and we did, but that's hard to execute with this much space, with this much talent, executed this well. And it's all set up by Will. Trey Moore blew by Fryar. You're not supposed to blow by that much. That you want to ride him up the field, not let him get into Will's face. Great. I can't explain enough. No one's talking about this. Will Howard, everything he did this game, this was it. That was the biggest thing he did. This is incredible to get away from that. And then look at this. So again, this is normal. That's just 4 men rushing a passer. That's nothing crazy about that. Oh, look at the big rush. Oh, come on. All right, but it's a great setup by Henderson, a great move by Will to get rid of the ball. And then the linemen are coming downfield. Okay, so we got our right guard, Sabula. Hinsman, the center. Left guard, Montgomery, my man Montgomery getting his playing time. And these guys are teaming up on this dude, and that's Hill, who was on the line of scrimmage. And now here comes the safety racing down like panicked now. These guys are veteran safeties back here. They knew right away, oh, no. I mean, when they saw this much space, they knew it. They're veterans. So here he comes, number 4. I got to get past my guy. I got to get in there. Oh, man. And then Trey's making a move like he's cutting up. Here comes the other safety going like crazy right here. Okay? And there's the 2 safeties converging. And Trey makes a great move. And goodbye. The safeties knock each other out. And Trey is gone. There was let-ups by Barron. Barron had a bad angle from the Tampa spot. There's Barron right there in the Tampa spot. He took a bad angle. There's just too much space and too much speed from Trey and set up too well. And then Williams over here. I don't like that he kind of slowed on the plays, a young guy, freshman. These guys slowed up a bit. I don't like that. You need to get your butt over there. This was not a gimme that this was going to be a tackle. And then by the time they all start speeding up again, it's too late. So, and Henderson's speed is just ridiculous. I mean, he's professional. He's NFL. He'd be one of the fastest NFL guys right now. So here we go again. Now we see it from here again. Okay, Moore gets around Fryar way too quick. Boom! Great move by Howard. See it again and again. Boom! Boom! Out to Trey. It's all set up. And then boom! Trey hits the hole. Okay? Just incredible to me. It's a little lucky. Just the timing. You throw away a play. You say, we've been practicing. Let's just throw it in, says Ryan Day. That's what he says he did. Come on, let's just run this play. We'll see what happens. Oh, my God. These guys they just backed off too much because of JJ and company. Look at this. I mean, it's not like that was a great block by Shabula. I mean, in a way, Hinsman just got kind of stepped in the way. None of the linemen are blocking that much. It's just they're trying to get the block. They really didn't have much to do but just stand there because I can't. And this is a pro style, by the way. This is all timing. This isn't a bubble screen. This isn't air raid. This isn't about space. This is a timing screen. It's all about timing, and they timed it absolutely perfect in the play call and and in the middle of the scheme, in the post snap on the field. It was timed so well that you didn't even really need to block it up. Look at this. Tate's standing around, Montgomery, Scott, nobody's standing. These safeties knocked themselves out. Hinsman didn't have to do that. And Trey's speed. Right there. Great move, and then goodbye. So that's what really happened. All right? There was too much space. Kwiatkowski, they were looking too much for the long pass. There was a good call by Kwiatkowski. That zone blitz, again, a regular zone blitz without all that spacing, keeping these guys down more. Look at Hill racing out of there. You need to stay around in here. But they had never thought. They thought, get the heck back for the deep ball. We do not want to give up an explosive. So they gave up an explosive underneath. And that's also Henderson so fast. Henderson does a lot of this. Will Howard and then Henderson pulled this off. So incredible stuff. Thank you to Zach Smith. Thank you, Zach, for having some common sense in here. My God. And Yeah, yeah. This wasn't about blitz. It wasn't a bad defensive call. And and by the way, what is JJ? JJ? Well, there was JJ. That was JJ. And I
Decoy.
wanted to show this too because I was doing this on the weekend because I was using this film. But look at this is Lachlan, the Coach Locke, the running backs coach. Look at him grab Henderson coming off the sideline. And then let's move into after the extra point. Watch this. Watch this. This is almost bigger than the play itself. This was the play. This is it. This is the culture thing of this whole thing. Nothing Kwiatkowski, not a bad call by the defense. They did back up a little too much, but they were scared of the JJ and company. It wasn't even some brilliant setup that Ryan Day was planning to unleash. It was just a regular West Coast offense, an old-fashioned pro-style running back screen based on timing, and it just came off at a beautiful time, beautifully, and to the guy that caused the penalty earlier, that slowed all the momentum they had early in the game. Look at these guys' faces. Look at this. Look at this. Look at Peoples, the backup, one of our best, our backup running back, huge recruit. But look at this. Look at these guys. Look at this. This love, man. Henderson, man, we have you. He's probably still disappointed about what he did. I think he's devastated. That's why when Locke was hugging him, he had his head down still. You don't have to have your head down, Trey. My God, you came back even though Judkins was brought to the team. Watch Stockstill over here when he gets to the end here. Watch this. Look at just look at this. Look at this guy. That's what it's about, man. So I can complain, what about the strategies of Ryan Day and all this all day long? But if you have this going on, execution can be a little off. Talent even can be a little off, though ours isn't. We have a lot of talent. Scheme can be a little off. I mean, you can't beat this, man. And that's just incredible. So really, chalk it up to that more than anything else.
There you have it. So some guy out there on film, the coach or something he calls himself, he was saying, oh, why would they blitz? It wasn't a big deal. It was a zone blitz. It was a nice call. It just, you don't want the safeties back that deep. I showed you how far back. And then when they came up, just the burst by Henderson, it just, honestly, you got to chalk this up to culture again. It really is. It's just like one of those things that it was a certain call with that amount of time left in the half. It is a little bit what Kwiatkowski does. He will back off too much. So it wasn't about too aggressive. It was too passive. And people get it wrong all the time. They got it wrong with Knowles this year. He's not blitzing enough. It's not that simple. You'll just blitz means aggressive, and no blitz means not aggressive. It's deeper than that. A zone blitz is not that aggressive. That's not the problem. Having your safeties race back in a deep Tampa 2 like the 1980s, that's a problem. I know it was only 25 seconds left. I know they were worried about JJ and Ibuka. I understand. But that's why I don't even blame the call. It wasn't a horrible call. I don't blame the players for getting fearful of JJ and company. Ryan Day, it wasn't some masterful play call. It was just a throwaway play call. This team has been lucky in the playoffs some degree, and it's because of this culture, man. And what really was important was seeing those players with Henderson after. The culture. That's why I showed you that. Look at those players all jumping with Henderson. Like, he made one bad mistake. That's not his typical thing he does, to pop someone in the face mask. That's not like him. He's a great leader. Again, they got Judkins, another great running back, and it's like, wow, man, what about me? He wasn't like that. He's for the team. He's always for the team. He's like, yeah, bring it on. Bring another great one in. We'll do it together. Teamwork, man. That's what it's all about. And those players love him, and it showed on the sideline. And that's what got this done. And that's what Ryan Day's been banking on all year. This camaraderie, this culture with the team, this toughness. That he's even made some weird moves and strategy, in my opinion, all year. But here we are, one game away from winning the whole thing, which is sort of what I predicted in the beginning. But huge play, massive, because it knocked us back up by 7. We kept having that touchdown margin the whole time, which I really felt we needed. I said it in my last video of my Oregon playlist. We keep a 7-point margin. We got to keep that or more, double digit, whatever. We got to keep it. Okay, I figured we'd win between 7 and 15. And, if we go under that and this gets to the special teams and then really pushes us in this type of offense we're running now that we're not used to all year, and I know we could have been in trouble, really in trouble, but we did it. And when it looked like it might get tied up at the end again, Jack Sawyer came through. But first, before any of that, Henderson came through. Huge play, has nothing to do with a good call by the defense. Just they backed out of it a little too much, a little too passive by the DBs. and they underestimated the speed of Henderson. And that's it.